Lunch w Radiu Ram.
Okay, so it's time for our special guests, and we've got a really sort of lively, active Radio Ram studio today. Lots of people, because we have the band, the Breslauers, a four-piece international band from Wrocław with 4 members from 4 different countries. So first of all, a welcome to all of you.
Hello. Hello.
To jest 4-osobowy skład, wszyscy zmieścili się w studiu, zresztą możecie ich już teraz zobaczyć na naszych mediach społecznościowych, na Facebooku Sunday Lunch albo Radia Ram. Tam właśnie zespół The Breslauers. Zagramy oczywiście coś od nich, oni dziś na żywo nie będą grali, chociaż może będą zapraszali na jakieś swoje najbliższe koncerty, no ale ta ich historia jest najważniejsza na początek.
Yeah, and like always on the show, we like to learn how our artists or our special guests have come to be in Wrocław, and we want to learn, of course, how the Breslauers formed. So what we'll do is I will ask the duo who are furthest from me. They're also from quite far afield. We've got Ali from Turkey and Carissa from the US, two very different places geographically from here, east and west. So maybe let's do ladies first, and Carissa, can you tell us how you ended up here in Wrocław?
So I came to Wrocław in about 2017. I was living in the US and wanted to live in Europe, so I applied for a job and ended up in Wrocław.
Proszę bardzo, jaka klasyczna, ładna historia. W 2017 przyjechała do Wrocławia, bo mieszkała w Stanach, a chciała mieszkać w Europie, więc zaaplikowała do pracy we Wrocławiu. No i oto jest.
And Ali?
Yeah, so I'm from Turkey, and I've been working as a software engineer there, and I got a job offer in Wrocław, so I decided why not try it. So I'm here.
To podobna historia. To jest inżynier, który postanowił pomieszkać w trochę innej części świata niż w swojej rodzimej Turcji i oto wybrał Wrocław, no i tu właśnie się spotykamy.
Yeah, so there's lots of economic activity in Wrocław, lots of opportunities from people in Poland from all around the world. Now, Chaitanya, what about yourself?
Well, basically post my high school I was searching for European universities for technical education, and I applied to Politechnika Wrocławska. Fortunately I got the admission, and then I ended up in Wrocław.
To bardzo podobna historia.
And as we've been learning off air, although Metush is obviously native Polish, you spent some time in Belgium, so you've had an interesting story to come here as well.
Well, basically my story is quite similar to Chaitanya, because I started studying in here. I'm from here, Dolny Śląsk, but I had a break for 2 years in Belgium and decided that Wrocław is my place to live for the rest of my life, probably.
No to tak też podobnie wszystko, może już tylko dopowiem, że Mateusz również, on jest z Lubania nawet oryginalnie, to też już wiemy, tutaj studiował we Wrocławiu, spędził też 2 lata w Belgii, ale wybrał Wrocław jako swoje miejsce. To mamy ładne wprowadzenie.
Mm-hmm. Now, I guess I'll address this question to the person who was influential in forming the band. So how did the band come together, and who should answer this question?
So, okay, that's my part, because when I returned from Belgium to Wrocław, I decided that I need to play something, because like musical hobby is one of the most important things in my life. So I put an announcement on internet, especially on Facebook, about looking for an upright bassist for rockabilly or maybe psychobilly playing, and then Ali replied for that. So maybe we can transfer the question for him.
Czyli to Mateusz jako pierwszy zainicjował może tę sytuację, bo dał ogłoszenie chyba głównie na Facebooku, no a później, że chciałby założyć zespół rockabilly, bo muzyka jest dla niego ważna. No i Ali wtedy się odezwał jako pierwszy.
Yeah, so at that point I was in Poland for about a year, I guess, and I had a band back in Turkey where I was playing a similar genre using upright bass, so I thought, okay, this is exactly for me. So from there we started talking, and the rest came together.
Super. To chyba zagramy teraz, słuchajcie. Myślę, że to jest dobry moment. Może także o tym utworze za kilka chwil będziecie mogli nam coś opowiedzieć. To jest króciutkie granie, jak przystało na ten gatunek muzyczny, czy te okolice muzyczne. Utwór niecało 3-minutowy, Real Man.
is a strong man, is a strong man with eyes of gray. He knows how to rock and roll, going to and fro, night and day. 'Cause my baby's a real man, he's a real man with a high top face. And I'm the kind of woman that knows what it's like to go tossing and a turning all through the night. From those hip-hop fools to those country tools. But now I got a man with a high top face. Drives a 69 Mustang with chrome tail light. His fire keeps me burning all through the night. When he talks I swoon and he holds me tight. My baby's a real man with a hot top face. My baby's a strong man, he's a strong man with eyes of gray. And I'm the kind of woman that knows what it's like to go tossing and a turning all through the night. From those hip-hop moves to those country tools. But now I got a man with a high top face. Got a high top face. Real man with eyes of gray. High top face. Real man with eyes of gray. My baby's a real man with a hot top face. My baby's a strong man, he's a strong man with eyes of gray. Woo!
Sunday Lunch w Radiu Ram.
To zespół The Breslauers. No nie grają u nas w studiu teraz, ale gramy ich muzykę, a może kiedyś jeszcze do nas zajrzą i coś zagrają. Póki co opowiadają o sobie. Zaczęliśmy od początku, od tego, co tutaj wszyscy we Wrocławiu robią i skąd się wziął zespół.
Yes, so that was the Real Man by Breslauers, and just off air we were hearing that this was very much Carissa's track, and of course you're on vocals on this track. So what's the story behind this particular song?
So most of our songs, we just start out like jamming, just kind of loosely jamming. And I used to do stand-up comedy, so I come up with words pretty easily off the top. I don't stop talking a lot of times. So, and I just wanted to have a ballad. So we started off by writing some loose words, and then we add to it and we make it better, and then Mateusz adds the music afterwards. So
Yeah, because basically when we're making songs, it's much easier to have lyrics and a draft of a melody and then put music into that, and that's a real man. That's exactly how the song started to exist.
Aha, to było trochę o tym w ogóle, jak zespół The Breslauers działa, o tym, że w większości te utwory powstają, kiedy sobie jamują, ale jest tutaj też ważny tekst, bo na nim opierają się przecież piosenki i to jakoś trochę lepiej pasuje i też to twój utwór jest chyba oryginalnie, to mówię do jedynej kobiety w tym składzie, która też jest stand-uperką i dużo mówi, w związku z tym także to przekłada na piosenkę, ale tu chciała, żeby to była bardziej ballada, no i tak to właśnie doszło do powstania utworu Real Man.
Okay, so let's maybe hear from some of the other members of the band. Obviously, everybody was involved in the production of this EP. Chaitanya, obviously yourself and Ali, you're from different cultures, and you have your upbringings and you have your traditional music, and then you're producing something that is very much international. Did yourself and the others bring anything particular to the recording of your music, let's say from your own country?
Effectively, I wouldn't say about exactly through the Indian culture, but essentially for my playing styles, mostly I come from the background of playing heavy metals, so the heavy or the punchy elements where we put in the songs, and they are borrowed from there. And well, I kind of grew up as well listening to some old Indian music, and fascinatingly they were inspired from the same music that we played. So 80s or 90s Indian music is basically inspired from Elvis Presley and the music that we played.
Okay, so this is all very informative for us and our readers. Really interesting to get these stories. And Ali, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there isn't much from Turkish culture in our music, but in terms of making rockabilly American style music, I've always been interested in that and have been listening to it for a long time. So I have my influences coming from there into our band, our music.
Okej, no to jakieś ładne historie z tego też wychodzą, bo Greg pyta o te wpływy takie rodzime, może muzyczne naszych gości. Czytania, który jest z indie, mówi o tym, że muzyka z lat 80. i 90., ta popularna z indie, mocno bazowała na Elvisie Presleyu, więc to akurat wszystko, co słychać w ich muzyce też. No a z kolei w tureckiej muzyce, tu jeszcze ciekawy wątek z czytania, też grał w zespole heavy metalowym, więc może to trochę też w inną stronę poszła ta odpowiedź niż się spodziewaliśmy. No ale i w tureckiej muzyce popularnej też jest sporo takich wątków muzycznych, więc akurat to się wszystko układa. To zagramy teraz, słuchajcie, może drugi utwór. To będzie Big Time. Ktoś chciałby o nim coś powiedzieć?
Well, basically, that's another approach to making songs because all of us are fans of Quentin Tarantino. So basically, all of us are fans of Quentin Tarantino songs. So we wanted this song to sound like from the soundtrack from Pulp Fiction or Reservoir Dogs or something like that. So please have a listen.
Okej, dobra, czyli to słychać było, że fanami są wszyscy filmów Quentina Tarantino i ścieżek dźwiękowych z jego filmów, więc to akurat miało brzmieć jak coś może z Pulp Fiction albo Wściekłych Psów.
Lipstick smeared for the taste of some fine crack. For 2 bottles of Jack, she's yours. Oh, she's yours. Oh, she's yours. Oh, she's yours. All it took was the promise of the big time and some fantasy love. All it took was the promise of a luxury life. Their luxury life.
Sunday Lunch w Radiu RAM.
To jest zespół The Breslauers, właściwie mogliście ich przed chwilą usłyszeć, są z nami w studiu. Słuchajcie, ktoś tutaj, Martin pisze na Facebooku do nas pytając, no rozumiem, że w związku z nazwą zespołu, czy to jacyś Niemcy?
No, we're not German at all. As stated on the beginning, we're from 4 different countries. So the twist is we are not from Poland except me, Mateusz. So we're called Breslauers. So it's even more confusing than.
No właśnie. Czemu to Breslauers wam wyszło, tak?
Well, basically, we didn't know how to name our band because the name was released after like more than a year of playing. We're looking for something that can be. I don't know how to say it.
I think originally we were having a very hard time coming up with names. Like there was like Ghost Chicken at one point.
Yeah, that's so stupid. No. Yeah, at one of the parties, someone just said maybe the Breslauers, and we made this like a placeholder for name, and it stayed like that. Yeah.
Okej, czyli długo nie było nazwy, w zasadzie rok od kiedy zaczęli grać, to jeszcze nie mieli nazwy, ta Ghost Chicken nawet mi się trochę podoba, słuchajcie, zapada w pamięć, ale Breslauers też, więc Martin nie są Niemcami akurat w ogóle nasi goście, za to ta nazwa im przypadła do gustu.
Yeah, I could imagine if you were quite sensitive and you want to say Wrocław, because obviously we're living in Wrocław now, and then you hear that you might have been called Ghost Kitchen, they would probably just say, okay, yeah, it's fine. Breslauers is all right. Now, off air, we've been talking about all the different places where you played, because you played so many different venues and different environments, yeah? So, Carissa, you're the vocalist, so you'll be, front and centre and experiencing that and interacting with the crowd. So, what kind of places have you enjoyed playing in Wrocław and around?
I think our go-to place is Alive near Kolejowa. That's probably our go-to place that lets us play the most, honestly. But I do enjoy playing. This summer we played on the street.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the most fun because it was kind of impromptu, and you get to see people who don't necessarily know who you are. So they're not just there because they're supportive. They're there because they're forced to be, and they still enjoy it. That's great.
It's always nice to see random people just dancing to our music, even though they don't know us and they never heard of such style of music. So.
Czyli często grają, na przykład w klubie Alive, to pod nasypem, to tam chyba najczęściej, ale bardzo lubią też grać na przykład na ulicy, kiedy tak? To są takie uliczne grania, rozumiem, Mateusz, tak?
Yes. Kiedy especially when something happens on the square market.
Dobra, czyli kiedy ludzie nie wiedzą, co to za zespół i co tam się będzie działo, a po prostu podoba im się ta muzyka, więc to jest coś bardzo przyjemnego.
It's quite a rock-focused club, isn't it? Alive, yeah. I mean, you're not worried that Chaitanya is going to go into full metal mode when you play there. Yeah, I mean, Wrocław is obviously a place where you've got these opportunities to play in different environments. Chaitanya, for you, where have you enjoyed performing?
I guess would be Alive because, well, we played most of the times there. One fascinating place to play was at Tarzyński Arena when we were booked for the Tattoo Convent of Wrocław.
Yes.
A, to pasuje nawet ta wasza muzyka.
That was one of the fun places to play.
Okej, czyli było grane także na stadionie miejskim, czyli Tarczyński Arena, Chaitanya, który jest perkusistą, ale także bliska mu jest muzyka metalowa, to stąd te pytania właśnie Grega o to może, gdzie jemu się najlepiej gra, to mówi, że tam było ciekawie, ale Alive w związku z tym, że tam grywają najczęściej, to jest to miejsce, gdzie jest mu dobrze.
And Ali, obviously, just to get some input from you, I mean, Carissa mentioned that you performed on the street. Was that easy for you to concentrate with all the sort of things going on around you?
Yeah, at first it was a bit disorienting, I guess, but then when you get used to it after 15 minutes, it's all fine.
Że to może wymaga chwili czasu, żeby się skupić na muzyce, kiedy na przykład gra się na ulicy i dużo się dzieje wokół, no ale to można do tego przywyknąć. Coś zagramy jeszcze? Może wrócimy za chwilę na koniec tych waszych opowieści. To będzie jeszcze jeden utwór, bo tylko 3 na razie nagrane. Ktoś o nim want to say something about the last track?
Well, basically, we want to have like a fun and fast track, so people just can get wild at the end of the gig or something like that. So we made maybe not rockabilly but psychobilly song named Satisfaction. Don't mix with the Rolling Stones song. And actually, during this song, we're doing our best. So it's the fastest and I don't know, the easiest musically, but the most fun song we playing during gigs.
And I always wanted a song that was like typically a masculine style, but from a woman's point of view. So if you listen to the lyrics, it's a little bit more feminine, but the style is more masculine.
To tak kończą koncerty The Breslauers, bo to jest taki szybki, wesoły kawałek na koniec.
I took one look at him, he took one look at me. We took one look at each other and we knew how it would be. It ain't love at all, just a little infatuation. It ain't love at all, just my own satisfaction. He move left, I move right. Bed won't shake tomorrow, but it sure will shake tonight. 'Cause you'll be gone in the morning, before the bacon hits the pan. Don't need no house outside the town. 2-car garage, what big events y'all give me now? I just want satisfaction. Right here, right here, right here, right now. He move left, I move right. Bed won't shake tomorrow, 'cause it sure will shake tonight. 'Cause you'll be gone in the morning, before the bacon hits the pan. Hit it, fuckers! Whoever said diamonds were a girl's best friend must be a joker. I want something else instead. I want that one-night magic, not long-term plan, just satisfaction. Satisfaction, that's my goal, my single plan. Satisfaction, that's my goal, my single plan. Woo!
Sunday Lunch w Radiu RAM.
Okay, so we are back with the Breslauers, and we've heard some of the songs from their debut EP, and we've been talking about as well plans for future concerts. Earlier we were talking about the various places where the band has performed before, and of course you've got some plans for future gigs. So I think Matusz, as the sort of band representative, might be the best person to ask about this.
Yes, that's true. So basically we have 2 upcoming events right now. So on 28th of January in Stary Klasztor for WOŚP. So we're playing alongside with 3 other bands in there. And the second booked gig is during the Custom Head Convent. So we'll be supporting Medicine, the psychobilly band from UK, if I'm not wrong. It will be held in 18th of February on Hala Stulecia.
Oh wow. Okay, so big venue. We've just been talking about that, haven't we?
Yes, basically that's the natural progress from the tattoo convention we played last year, because the same organization does the thing, but this one is compound with custom heads. So basically two organizers making one big event here in Wrocław.
To o tych najbliższych koncertach. Ten pierwszy to weekend wośpowy będzie i to akurat jeden z koncertów w Starym Klasztorze 28 stycznia, czyli chyba w sobotę, prawda?
Yes, exactly.
A później jeszcze znów okolice tematów tatuażowych, bo jakoś ta muzyka rockabilly i te rzeczy są chyba bliskie tatuażom w ogóle, więc wy na kolejnym konwencie to będzie kiedy? W lutym? Którego?
18th of February, 18 lutego.
Właśnie, w hali stulecia tym razem. Fajne rzeczy z Wrocławia. Słuchajcie, nowy zespół, oni nagrali te utwory po 2 latach, przypomnijmy, znania się, grania już wspólnego, ale niedawno, pod koniec listopada, więc zupełnie świeża sprawa z Wrocławia.
Mm-hmm. And we've also just been hearing how quickly you managed to record that EP. And
One day.
Yeah, basically one day. We had the studio for 2 days, but as I told before, we just were very well prepared with the songs. We just played it. The muscle memory worked that time.
Aha, czyli zazwyczaj to chyba odwrotnie wygląda, a oni zamawiają studio na 2 dni, a nagrywają materiał w jeden. Nawet przed chwilą jeszcze prześcigali się w tym, kto szybciej nagrywa. Nie wiem,
Which is basically not good thing, but okay.
ale może, jeśli wychodzi dobrze, no to chyba okej. W porządku.
Well, it may be one of the things is it can make you focus, can't it? I mean, if you've got some of the big bands who've got almost unlimited funds, you can hear stories of production hell that, it took us more than a year to do this album, and yet when you are together and you're unified, you all know each other, then it can be done quite quickly, yeah? Ali, how did you find the recording of the album?
This was my first professional recording, so it was a nice experience, I would say. Yeah, it went easier than I thought it would go.
Czy nawet trochę prostsze niż się spodziewał. Ali mówi, basista zespołu, to nagrywanie w studiu, tak.
And Chaitanya, what about you? I mean, was there anybody who in the band, let's say, during the recording, who's the joker in the band, would you say?
I think I would point it to Carissa and Mateusz.
Carissa is more the joker than me.
Fair enough. Either way, most of the jokes come from these two guys.
Don't say it.
Yes. The jokes won't be said on air, so that's not a good place.
Thank you. We are a family show, and this is we're aware of this. Yeah. So thank you for not doing that. Yeah. And obviously, you mentioned that you're doing VOSP, and that's a big deal in Poland. I don't know how many of you have been here long enough to, recognise this, because when I came over, I didn't necessarily know how big a deal VOSP was, and obviously now I'm here longer, I recognise that this is something that's really important to be a part of and contributing to this charity. So, Carissa, I don't know if you're familiar with the charity, and you're really sort of bigged up to be part of it.
So I kind of have seen the heart sticker around town, like the Vosh sticker, but I didn't actually know quite what it was until Mateusz told us we were going to potentially play there, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Over the past couple of years, because of pandemic, we haven't really been out and about as much, so I didn't really see it there, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okej, mamy chyba to wszystko, słuchajcie, bo powoli musimy zmierzać do końca tych opowieści. The Breslauers u nas w studiu. Jeśli chcielibyście ich znaleźć na przykład na Facebooku, to można sobie kliknąć już u nas, bo widać ich na zdjęciu. Zresztą bardzo profesjonalnie wyglądacie, tak jak trzeba, tam wszystko się ma.
And if we could just finish off by giving our listeners all the details so that they can follow you and keep up to date with your gigs and so forth. And again, band manager Mateusz, maybe you're the best person to ask.
Jest jeszcze Bandcamp oczywiście.
Yes, we are on Bandcamp, on Facebook, Instagram, on Spotify and other streaming platforms. And if you want to support us directly, so the Bandcamp is the best source. So if you want to buy some merch, you can always visit us during the gigs and buy something.
We also have a recording on YouTube.
Yes, the first video made on the rehearsal, so it's like maybe not low effort, but just to show ourselves how we look like and that we can have fun during playing with ourselves. So if you want, you can just stream it. Look at us and decide if you want to come to see us live.
Okej, to mamy wszystko chyba.
Yeah, so all that's left to say is thank you very much for coming on the show, and of course we wish you the best of luck with all your future endeavours and concerts, and I hope that you will eventually be able to record that full album, and we look forward to seeing you perform at Hala Stolecia.
To może być ładne. Mateusz z Lubania, Ali z Turcji, Chaitanya z Indii i Carissa ze Stanów Zjednoczonych. Taki jest skład zespołu The Breslauers. Dzięki!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.